is what is public administration? So what are the syllabuses of it? And what are the books we need to refer for this? So what are books we want to refer for this? Okay. And this session will be for another 1 or 2 hours max. From next week onwards, we will have a proper session. For online candidates, right now we have a hard copy being distributed here. And first thing we are going to discuss about the syllabus topics, you can Google it and get it out. So other sheet is prepared in the institute. After joining the courses, I'll distribute to you, and also part of Telegram channel, I'll upload that one. So if you just came for orientation, just go with that, and once you join, I'll distribute the second sheet. Okay. So starting with the term public administration. Okay, just go through the sheets what is given. There are 2 sheets will be given. So one is the syllabus copy, other one is regarding keywords, correct? These are the things you got. So before starting with the syllabus copy and keywords, first we'll start with the term public administration, correct? Probably this is the new, first time you're getting this word, the term called public administration. To understand basically what is public administration, first we take our life and see certain events. Then we can easily get the term what is administration and public administration means, correct? So assume that you're going to plan for a trip. What are things you do for it? You decided for a trip. So what are the things you decided for it? What are the things you do? Logically, you say, what are the things you do? At this moment, you decide for a trip. It can be within India, outside of India, anything. What are the next thing you do? Huh? First one is you wanted, first, before staying, what is the first thing you want to decide is? Budget is one. First thing is budget. What are the money you want to spend? Correct? Any idea? Within India, if you want to go, what will be the money required? It depends on individuals, but on an average level, what are the money required is based on your understanding? Approximately what are the money required? So 25,000, 50,000. Okay, based on the locations. Okay, then foreign trip. Sri Lanka is also foreign only. So it doesn't, when you say foreign trip, you doesn't need to think like Europe and all. For example, you want to go for Sri Lanka. So assume another 1 lakh max. First, you want to decide the budget. After budget, what is the next thing we do? Based on the budget, we decide the venue. Venue is in place, correct? Once you decide the place, what are the things you do? For example, you decide for Sri Lanka. How many days? Where you want to go, correct? Where you want to stay. All these things you do, correct? If you put in technical term, we call it as planning, budgeting. Can you understand the point? If you compromise all these things, what will happen to your trip? You doesn't do any of these things. What will happen to your trip? What will happen to your trip? You get into biggest headache, correct? First, we doesn't need go to airport if you're going for a foreign trip without proper deciding, correct? If the same thing is done by government, planning, budgeting, if all the things are done by government, we call it as public administration. Administration here, good example is what is called planning and budgeting, simple terms. If the same planning and budgeting is done by the government, we call it as public administration. Is that budgeting done in our families or not? Yes, correct. Who does that? In your family, who does this budgeting? Father does. Mainly mother does, correct? So once the first month, first week, what the next thing she'll do is take out a sheet, write what are the things you want to buy, correct? In this, you also add something, correct? And a giveaway, no, correct? What a reply of the mother is? Not that much, correct? You are asking for 1,000 rupees, I'll give 200 rupees. This is the same thing government also does. Can you understand the point? Check in union government how many ministries are there. So take out your phone. Check in union government how many ministries are there. I think for online candidates, you're able to hear me, correct? So union government, how many ministries are there? Factual terms. Nowhere related to exam, don't worry, even if you're not knowing it. So union government, how many ministries are there? That you got the number? 58 ministries, correct? Who is like mother for union government? Prime Minister is like father. So mother is Minister of Finance. All the ministries go and ask, give us so much of money. What Minister of Finance says is, no, this much will not be given for you. This is the money I'll give to you, correct? Simple way of understanding public administration is, if you are able to think of your family, what they are doing within the family system, in larger scale, with technical terms, we call it as public administration, correct? So right now we are in the term called federation. What is federation is? Polity lies that you got the term called federation. Check what is federation is. I'll say the family system, what is federation is. In polity classes, there's a term called federation. You'll see that also. What is federation is? Sharing of powers, correct? Sharing of powers between union and state, correct? If you have a sibling, brother or sister, that's the example of federation, correct? Is that you're happy with your father or mother treating your sibling? You can see that. Sometimes what will always your mind says is, he or she is getting more, correct? The same thing what the state governments always says is, one state is getting more when compared to us. The same idea. Okay. Simple way is, if you are able to understand your family well, you can understand public administration easily. Can you get the point? So take out the syllabus copy. For online candidates, so right now you can get it in your Google also, syllabus copy. Then public administration, there are two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Okay. And what is the major difference between paper 1 and paper 2 is, paper 1 is a theory, paper 2 is a applied area of it. Those applied area of means what you study there, you apply here in paper 2. And paper 2 is popularly called as Indian administration. Okay. So I'll briefly say each unit what is there. Then also I relate with paper 2 also, correct? Then we'll see the keywords and all those aspects. And take out your syllabus copy with you. And for online candidates, just Google it. Paper 1, first unit says introduction. So what is this term introduction is? It introduce you to the idea of public administration. And the first unit, from the first word to last word, for example, meaning to new public management. All these terms are nothing but right from public administration subject when it started, to be precise 1887, until now, what happened in public administration, that are the terms given there. And is that you get the term called Wilson vision? There's a term called Wilson vision. Wilson is considered to be the father of public administration. So why he is called as father of public administration is, we'll see in topics of the classes. I'll give one idea. He gave certain concepts to public administration. One good example of that concept is, he says, politics administration dichotomy. What is politics administration dichotomy is? Very basic question. As a common man, I'll say something, you need to say whether you accept or not. Can we say right now in India, civil servant is more aligned with politician rather than common man? Do you accept it or not? If you go to police station, if you want to give a complaint against MLA, complaint can be genuine. What would be the outcome? Whether they accept the complaint? Literally no. What the policeman will do is, so we'll talk, why you're doing like this, correct? And they try to settle outside of the police station. Mostly if you go and see in government, civil servant will be more aligned with politician rather than a common man. But what is the ultimate role of a civil servant is? To work for a common man through politician. But most of the time what it is found out is, in any country and any civil services, civil servant is more aligned with the political class rather than common man. He gave an idea there should be a clear separation between politics and administration. To understand the separation, check one case, TSR Subramaniam PAL. Take out your phone, check. TSR Subramaniam PAL. We'll see in classes in detail, just to get an idea. TSR Subramaniam PAL. So in that judgment, can you identify one or two terms like this to separate politics and administration? TSR Subramaniam PIL. So in this, you can see the judgment says that if you are a civil servant, when you're getting an order from politician, the order should be a written order. To get an idea, if you're a district collector and you're going to implement a project, whether the local MLA will influence you or not. Practically, yes or no? Yes, correct. How you try to influence? Through written order, through phone call. Through phone call only. Correct? What this TSR Subramaniam PAL says is, whenever some politician is saying something, get it as a written order. And if you are a honest civil servant, if I'm the MLA, I'm saying that you should do like this. But the next thing you want to ask with me is, sir, give me some written order. Or the next thing I'll do is, never make a call. Can you get the point? So what Wilson says is, there should be a clear separation of politics and administration. We'll see that later. Okay. Wilson is considered to be the father of public administration. Next, there's a term called evolution. What is evolution? Is simple way of understanding evolution is that you saw in your school days the term called human evolution. So scientifically, from where we evolved. Scientifically, from where we evolved. We are modern day humans, correct? To trace our origin, from where we started. Anyone knows it? From where we started our origin as a humans. Huh? Animals, okay. Which animal? Animal is correct. Monkey, correct? That is called evolution. Simple way of saying this is check DNA match of humans and apes or monkeys. You put it out. DNA match. That's saying what is human evolution is. What is the DNA match here? DNA match between humans and monkeys. So what is the DNA match? DNA is a basic tool on which human bodies are evolved, correct? Simply you're saying, what is DNA matches? Monkey, or you put ape, how much you are getting is 99%. Where we can easily feel it is, whenever you see a snake, what the first feeling of you? Fear or happiness? Fear. First time you see a monkey, what happens to you? What the first thing happens to you? When you see a monkey for the first time, what happens to you is very curious, correct? And what the next thing you always say is, நம்மள மாதிரியே சிரிக்குது. நம்மள மாதிரியே பல்லு இருக்குதுக்கு, correct? Can understand the point? Mostly you can see people saying that. Reason is, we evolved from that. Similarly, public administration also evolved as a subject. Wilson was the first one to say what is public administration in 1887. In 2025, we'll see what the evolution is. Okay. Similarly, there's a term called new public administration. What is new public administration is, what are new ideas in public administration? To get an idea of this term called as new public administration is that you know this term called colonialism. What is colonialism is? Simple way of identifying. Check what is colonialism. So what is a term called colonialism? So colonialism is one country going and occupying other country. Good example, India. India was occupied by whom? British, correct? When British left India, when we got our independence, 1947. Can we say in 2025, we don't have any colonialism? Yes or no? No. Answer is no only. What is the reason for it? Why in modern day we can say that we are not still out of colonialism? What are the points we can say? For answer is correct. You said still in modern day era, we are also under colonial influence. Not like British times. Simple way of saying is, take our mobile phones, correct? What are the things we use in mobile phones? Is that originated from one country? Google, WhatsApp, Apple. From which country it all originated? US. They say it is a new form of colonialism. Can you understand the point? Same idea, new public administration. Public administration, there's an idea. What a new form in it? That is called NPA. We'll see that new public administration. Similarly, there's a term called challenges of LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. All these terms are unique. We'll see that. Simple way of understanding globalization is that we are interconnected world. Yes, is that we are interconnected world. Interconnected world means entire world is connected through finance, resources, and everything. What is happening in one part of the world will have an impact on other part of the world. Is that you're reading papers? Okay. Last 2 weeks, can you say one current affairs happening at global level? Online candidates, you can also say global level. That strikes your mind. Nothing is wrong. Something you have read in last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, something happening in global level. H1B visa, correct? In which country? US. What US government says is for H1B visa. H1B visa means it is a document given by a country for others to come to their country. Why they always do like that? Why a country will always issue visa? Because they want to stop illegal migration. Can you understand the point? So right now there's a term called H1B visa, which is given by US. And this visa is given for professionals. Professionals examples like doctors, correct? STEM. That is said by government, US government. What US government says is, hereafter someone coming under H1B visa, we are increasing the fees of it. It says $1 lakh. $1 lakh means what the equivalent is? Very close to 90 lakh rupees as a fee. What a current fees is? Current fees is $4,000. Very close to 3 lakh rupees. One time you want to say the fee, get that fee of 3 lakh and you get H1B visa. Right now what is the US government saying is you need to pay very close to 90 lakh. This is a rule of US government. Why it bothers India? Why Indian government says what you're doing is not correct? The reason is, to take all these H1B visas from US government, who is getting in larger numbers, Indians, mostly IT professionals. And how IT is important for India? Is that economic class started? No. Check what is called service economy. Take out your phone and check what is called service economy. Any country's economy can be classified into 3: agriculture, manufacturing, and service economy. What is service economies? Correct. American tariff, that's correct. What is service economies? An economy primarily based on providing services. Example of services, software. Manufacturing example, what is the example of manufacturing is? A component or something like that, correct? So you know this car company called Mahindra and Mahindra? That's an example of manufacturing. Or you know Maruti Suzuki, example of manufacturing. Agricultural economy, everyone knows. Service economy, India is primarily based on service economy. If you earn rupees 100 in India, very close to 60 rupees comes from service economy. In that service economy, which is majorly dominated by IT, information technology. One US government making a rule change, you can see what are the biggest impact in India. That's the challenges of globalization. Can you get the point? We'll see that in the topics. And similarly, we have this term called new public management and all those things. What is the NPM is? Simple way of saying, is that modern day government is like business? Can we accept like that? Modern day government is like business. Answer is yes only, correct? So most of you, how many of you came to Chennai for preparations? Okay. So mostly how you travel here? By bus or by train or what? Bus and train options are there, correct? So if you want to book a train ticket, so what is the platform we go? IRCTC, correct? Is the train ticket price is variable? Variable in the sense is 1 month down the line, you want to travel, you book the ticket, assume 500 rupees. 1 day before, you want to book, what do you call this Tatkal? What is the price? Is it 500 or 900? 900, same ticket. There's another term called premium tatkal. Is railways like business or not? You have booked Ola, Rapido, Uber. Same thing what railways is doing. Can you get the point? Whenever demand increases, price increases. So that's nothing but the concept of NPM. Modern day government is also like business only. We'll see that characters. This is for unit number 1. Unit 2 is administrative thought. Administrative thought is popularly called as thinkers. And these thinkers can be classified into 3 categories. They are called as classical thinkers, human relation thinkers, and behavioral thinkers. What are these classical thinkers, human relation thinkers, and behavioral thinkers is that modern India started for you? Modern India. National movement is that they came for national movement topic? Not it. National movement they came. Okay. I'm asking you, right now in our national movement, we have this term called freedom fighters. Can we classify the freedom fighters? Anyone knows the term called moderates? Check who are moderates is. Check, take out your phone and check moderates. Indian national movement moderates. So what the character? I'll say the equivalent to these thinkers. Who are called as moderates. So moderates is nothing but, if you want to put in simple terms, you want to oppose the Britishers, but how you want to oppose is, go and talk with them, peacefully deal with them. If they say no, we will deal it after 1 month, they'll come back. They are called as moderates. And there's another term called extremist. Check who's extremist is. Freedom fighters, extremists. Who are these extremists? So moderates, okay, moderates are ones who are flexible with Britishers, that's correct, okay. Principles of ahimsa with violence, okay. So what is extremists is people not focusing on violence. What they do is they never cooperate with Britishers. They go and ask something with British. British is not giving, what the next thing they'll do is they never pay taxes. They go and sit in the road. They are called as extremists. And who's a good example of extremist in that is Mahatma Gandhi. And there's another type of freedom fighter called revolutionary terrorists. Or who are the examples of revolutionary terrorists? Popularly, we know them as, Bhagat Singh. But the question is, if you take all these 3 types, what is their ultimate goal? What is the ultimate goal of moderates? What is the ultimate goal of extremists? Or what is the ultimate goal of revolutionary terrorists? Getting independence. Same thing in administrative thinkers. We say classical thinkers, human relation thinkers, or behavioral thinkers. The ultimate objective is to improve the organizational efficiency. What is organizational efficiency? Means when 10 people are working, they want to make the best outcome of this 10 people. Simple way of saying is efficiency of organization is very basic question. Government office, private office, where you feel that work is perfectly done. Government office or private office? Government office means India will be so developed economy. Correct? Where we can see that is private. Simple way of understanding is, all you got your bank account. Which banks you have? SBI, then Indian Bank, correct? So anyone have exposure to private banks, HDFC, ICICI? If you take this bank, HDFC, ICICI, all you are saying is government banks. Compare government banks with private banks. Private banks are considered to be more efficient. Simple way of saying how is efficiency means, call up a local HDFC bank and say that I want to open a bank account. What the next thing they do? So don't worry, come in WhatsApp, we send a form, fill it up, we will open it. Or I'll come to your place. Just fill it, sir, sign it, we will open it. What about government bank? We call up the government bank and say that I want to open a bank account. What the next thing the person will say is, Tambinga Vapa, correct? You come to the place, correct? And if you say that HDFC are doing like this means, what the next thing they'll say is, go to HDFC. Oh, you're coming here. Correct? So all this thinker's objective is to improve the organizational efficiency. Just have this in mind. And third unit is administrative behavior. So what is administrative behavior means? Simple term. What is behavior according to you? Anyone have the idea of this term called behavior? Behavior means how we respond. Can you understand the point? And for an organization, there's a term called administrative behavior. Or simple way of saying what is administrative, what is behavior, then we go for administrative behavior is that we irritate traffic. So assume that you're driving a two-wheeler, standing in a signal. Is that you get irritated or not? Yes, you get irritated. You think, what is this? India, always we are standing in the road, it's very hot. You are very much irritated. Just think this one behavior. Take a hypothetical situation. Hypothetical situation means something is going to happen. You're going with the loud one. Can you understand the point? Boyfriend or girlfriend. Whether you have it or not, leave it. Boyfriend or girlfriend. Correct? Going in a two-wheeler. Standing in a signal. Whether you hate it. Literally no. Right? That 30 seconds you speak with them, say something, correct? You play with them. Sometimes you can see the people in the road, correct? We are so much irritated in the road, they'll be enjoying it. We'll think, correct? Point, understand the point. For them, it's very happy. Same person, individually if they come, they get irritated. Same person in the same situation with someone with them, I'm just giving an idea what is called behaviors. They're very happy. So similarly in administration, if you want to make someone work very effectively, what are the things that influence their behavior? There are terms given, for example, if you take this term like communication or terms like leadership, have a huge influence on administration. A good example for it, who's our current Prime Minister? We know everyone, correct? Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's a good communicator or not? Good communicator means whatever he wants to say to the people, as a common man, can we understand it or not? The answer is yes. It's a very good communicator, correct? Whatever he wants from us, he directly say to us in a simple terms. Can you understand the point? And he's a good leader or not? Leave out politics. As you're from Tamil Nadu, you have certain perception of it. Whether he's a good leader or not. Answer is yes, he's a good leader, right? To understand simple example who is a good leader, what's his leadership characteristic, check in your YouTube. Prime Minister, flag, South Africa. And all these characters influence civil servants, correct? Is that you got that video? It's a simple video, nowhere related to exams. Prime Minister, South Africa, and flag. Is that got a video? Where there was a photo session, correct? He went there. And to mark where leaders need to stand, what that people has done is put the national flag on the bottom. Assume you are the Prime Minister. You're going to shake hands with South African President. I'm a photographer. I have a certain angle, I want to capture it. What I have done is, in this stage, I put the flags of two countries. One is Indian flag, South African flag. What it indicates is, if you are the Prime Minister, you want to come and stand there. Logically, everything seems to be correct. But what our Prime Minister did? Once he reached there, he took the flag. What it indicates? What it indicates is respecting the country, correct? And once as a civil servant, if you see that, what will be the impression on your mind is? So what the impression on the mind is when you see that? Assume you are the civil servant right now. Once you see this video and all, what the impression on your mind is? He gives great respect for the country. Then you have a chance of interacting with him. What is the first thing you always try to say to him is? How to make the country great. Because you clearly know that from this aspect, he loves the country. Is there benefit for the country or not? Yes, correct? Assume I'm the Prime Minister. It's not going to happen. No Prime Minister will get like this, get into trouble. Assume I'm a Prime Minister. You are a civil servant. You saw me, I'm getting money and corrupting the system. Can you get the point? And get some money from corporate world or anywhere and giving some benefits to them. You saw that. Next, if you want to interact with me, what the first thing that comes to your mind is? So how I can give him more idea of corruption. Can you get the point? What I'm saying is, sometimes you hate me. Sometimes what you try to do is try to give some more ideas of corruption. Leadership ability. Just giving an idea. This all influence your behavior. Just to say what is administrative behavior, I'm saying. Okay. Our next unit is organization. Organization is how to structure the systems. So we already saw that 54 ministries are there, correct? So can you say what are the important ministries? Based on your paper reading, what are the important ministries? Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Defense, all these things are there. That all parts of organization, correct? So why in India we need to give more importance for Ministry of Defenses? Why government gives more importance for Ministry of Defense? Simple question. Is that we have a friendly neighbor or hostile neighbors? Hostile neighbors. Who are the hostile neighbors? Hostile are the enemies. Who are the enemies to us? Pakistan and China. Can you understand the point? This all determines the structures. Okay. Next one is accountability and control. What is the term called accountability is a very basic question. In your life, is that you are answerable? Answerable means, is that you want to say certain things in your life to certain one, it is a required thing. Simple thing, what you're doing. Today you finish off. Morning you wake up, evening you finish off. Before going to bed, is that you're going to report all these things to certain individuals? Morning I wake up, I did all these things, I studied. It's not a mandatory, but as a practice. This is the morning I studied these things, I went to this class, came back. Whether you do it to your parents or not. With whom precisely? Father is there, mother is there, correct? They'll ask. Assume that today you didn't call and say anything. Tomorrow what they do is, first thing they call you and ask what the first thing is. Yeah, Nethi Solala. What you did yesterday, correct? And what are the things you attend? Is that they ask your performance, correct? How is the studying going or not? Same thing applies for the government. If you are a prime minister, there will be someone to question you. Any example? Who will question if you are a prime minister? Good example is opposition. There's opposition parties there. One good example of opposition party, you know, Rahul Gandhi, correct? He comes and asks in parliament what prime minister is doing. And that for that prime minister is giving a reply. Can you understand the point? This is called accountability. There are certain structures and ideas for it. We'll see that. The next thing is administrative law. It's a technical term. We'll see that in classes. What is administrative law? The next thing is comparative public administration. What is comparative means? Right now, if you take a constitution itself, very basic example, constitution itself. Is that our constitution is a written constitution or borrowed and written constitution? Borrowed and written constitution. That is called comparative studies. What we have done is went across the world, identify what are the best ideas working in that constitution. We took it and put it in India. The same thing if you do for public administration, that is called comparative administration. Simple example is that you got your Aadhaar numbers. So the uniqueness of Aadhaar. Simple way of saying what is Aadhaar. Aadhaar is a term, but what is simple way of saying Aadhaar to a common man? Aadhaar is a unique ID. Under the unique ID, they give some numbers to you. Can you understand the point? Is this the first thing in the entire world India is doing? Is already some other country has done it. Any idea? Check US SSN number. If you are right now in US, what is called SSNS? The same idea right now we have as Aadhaar. In US, if you are a citizen, they call it as social security number. If government want to interact with you, what the first thing government will ask us? Give this SSN number. In India, is the same thing happening, asking Aadhaar. What is the reason why government is getting this Aadhaar for you? Because Aadhaar is one unique number for you. What is the population of India? 1.4 billion. Your Aadhaar number is unique among 1.4 billion. For government, they can easily identify with the Aadhaar number who you are. If you don't have Aadhaar, what a problem for the government? What the biggest problem for the government if you don't have Aadhaar is? What the biggest problem is? So in a class, can you say what are the common names in the class? Common name in the class. If you go to any class, if you say this name, at least two people will raise a hand. What are common names here? You know this name like Priya and all. Priya will be there. In guy's name, what are the common? Karthik will be there. If you say Karthik, 10 people will be raising a hand. Correct? For government, when they say Karthik, 1,000 people raise a hand. Government get confused whom they want to give the benefits. Whereas in Aadhaar, what are the advantages? You can have 1,000 Karthik, but each Karthik will have a unique ID, correct? So that's the benefit here. So this idea we took it from US, SSN, Social Security Number. We have an Aadhaar, that is called comparative studies. Okay. Next is development dynamics. What is development dynamics is any country in the world primarily focus on development of its people. When you say development means how it can be classified. How development can be classified generally is. So development, if you want to put in simple terms, one is economic development. Is government very keen on economic development? Is that government want to ensure that we want to have some money in our life? Yes, correct. Anyone knows this called MG Narega? Noor Naal Valley Thittam. That's a minimum money government is giving to us. I assume that I'm in a village. I don't have any job. What I can do is I can go to the government and say, under MG Narega, out of 365 days, give me 100 days labor, I'll get some money. Economic development. Social development, yes or no? Is government taking care of health, education? Quality of that, leave it. But basic thing is that they're taking care or not, health or education, yes? We have government hospitals, government schools, correct? All these things are taken care. And there's another idea called sustainable development. What is sustainable development is, government is right now saying that we are not developing only for current generation, we are also keeping in mind of future generation. That's called sustainable development. So anyone knows this concept called solar energy? Is that government putting lot of effort for developing solar energy or not? Subsidy is also given, correct? These are all part of development administration. Government will decide how to develop a society. Can you get the point? Right now, government is very keen on what we call as sustainable development. Simple thing. Is government promoting electric vehicles or not? Electric vehicles, correct? It's all done by government. So government want to make sure that we want to reduce the consumption of petrol and diesel. And we have a negative effect. Now, what is the negative effect is? Anyone knows this term called global warming? And one of the major reasons for global warming is greenhouse gases. Simple way of understanding global warming, ask your elders, correct? They always says that 20 years before, weather was like this. Right now it's very bad, correct? All this they say. So right now, if you are new to Chennai, this November, December, January, you'll be very happy. Somewhat okay of Chennai weather. Then by Feb, March and April, you know what is real Chennai is. Okay, it's very, very hot. And we ask Chennai people, localates here, they say that 20 years before, this was not like this. Right now, it's very hard. One of the reasons is global warming. Primary aspect is, as we are using petrol and diesel a lot, it emits what we call as greenhouse gases. So what government thinks is, if you go in this direction, another 100 years down the line, We will not have earth at all. So we can go for what we call as electric vehicle. It's all part of sustainable development. Okay. Next unit is personal administration. What is personal administration is? Simple way of saying, what is the difference between a civil servant and a person working in corporate world? If you are a district collector, right now I'm working in Reliance. Both of them get same salary, everything. Just assume. What is the difference between you and me? Job wise. That is okay. Government pay, what are the job differences? So if you are a IAS or a district collector, your primary objective is what is called as welfare. Welfare in the aspect is you focus on people well-being and you never focus on profit. If I'm working in Reliance, the primary objective of me is profit. Welfare comes next. In personal administration, they try to identify all these characters. How to recruit an individual, how to train them, but the only objective of public administration is, as a civil servant, they should be primarily focused on welfare. Where we can see this reflection is, once you go for the last stage of civil service selection, or the last stages, interview, correct? What is the key point in interview is, we call it as ethics, not profit, or welfare, not profit. Can you understand the point? Assume in interview they ask a question, can we lay a road for tribal hamlet? There's a tribal village in a mountain, 20 families. If the interview asks, can we lay a road for it? If you are a person with a business mind, what do you say is, it's a waste of time, sir, waste of money. Only 20 families, they'll never come down. Why you want to put that road? Wasting our money, correct? Then you come and prepare for prelims. Can you understand the point? Government is not primarily driven based on money. They are primarily focused on also welfare. To understand all this welfare, is that you know this term called subsidy? Check what a subsidy is. So subsidy is a simple economic term. Right now in India, we have a lot of examples of subsidies. One is called LPG cylinder, correct? So given for, so everywhere subsidy is there. What a subsidy is, there is some market price for a product or services. What government says is, as a common man, you doesn't want to give all the money. You give some money, government will give some money. That's called subsidy. And this is done primarily based on welfare motive. Okay, so all comes under personal administration. Next one is public policy. Public policy is simple way of saying is, any government right now in the world is driven based on policy. What advantage of having a policy is, it sets a clear direction, what need to be done. Good example of understanding this public policy is, check in India, what is this national health policy? National health policy in India. Any government across the world is driven based on policies. If there is no policy, Prime Minister or President can influence the government, which can be a bad outcome. What is national health policy of India's? So government is very keen on citizens' health. What the national health policy is? One or 2 points you can say. One is, national health should be affordable, correct? To understand what is affordability is, right now, if someone have health complication, what the first thing family always worry is, assume that I got some health issues. In my family, what the first thing they worry a lot is about my health or expenditure for my health. Expenditure for my health, correct? That comes the government saying that under national health policy, we want to make it affordable. Anyone knows this term called Ayushman Bharat? Check what is called Ayushman Bharat. That's a scheme of the government. Ayushman Bharat is not only related to medical shop. What is called Ayushman Bharat? What is Ayushman Bharat is? Free access to health insurance. There's an idea called insurance. What insurance is? You pay small amount to government or institutions when there is some issues like this, they repay all your money. So the logic here is, assume all are 10 people here, all are paying that insurance money of 100 rupees. Very basic question, any given time, is that we all go and admit in hospital? No. Only one individual. And what that company will do is, when there's a need, they give the money to certain individual. Can you understand the point? But monthly we will contribute for that. That is the idea of insurance, very basic idea of insurance. Just keep that in mind. And government is providing this insurance for health. And you can see under health policy, they make it as affordable. For that affordability, they created this scheme called Ayushman Bharat. Okay. Next one is techniques of administrative improvement. So techniques is nothing but primarily focused on improving our efficiency. Is that you got this term called e-governance. What is e-governance is that modern day government is entirely based on mobile phones or not. Just with a mobile phone can we access the government? Yes, correct. What is the advantage in our life? With a mobile phone we can access the government. Mostly we can access the government, correct? What advantage for us? Simple way. Can we time manage? Can we contact the police using mobile? Any app in Tamil Nadu for anyone knows this app called Kavalan app? Just that app, you can contact the police. What the biggest advantage for you? What are the biggest advantages? 24/7. Anywhere in Tamil Nadu, if you have any issues, just one mobile phone is enough, you contact the police. That all results in improving the administration. Okay. Finally, last one, financial administration. When you say financial administration, any government also need to focus more on their finance. Simple way of understanding financial administration is simple terms. What is government revenue? What is government expenditure? Can anyone say from where government get most of its money? Taxes. So to understand this taxes, you know this term called GST, goods and service taxes. Check per year how much government is collecting. Per year collection of GST. You'll be shocked to see that number. The per year collection of GST is very close to per year how much is collecting? Is government is collecting 22 lakh crore, not 22 lakh, 22 lakh crore rupees per year government is collecting. That's a source of money for them. And where they spend the money, check last budget. You put last year budget, defense allocation. Government is getting 22 lakh crores, defense allocation. For defense, how much government is allocating? Health insurance scheme is there. Okay. Principle of violence. Okay. India defense allocation last year. Is that you got some numbers? 6 lakh crore. 6 lakh crore for defense. They get money, 22 lakh crore. 6 lakh crore is given for defense. This is one example. All comes under the idea of financial administration. Okay. So this is paper one. So paper one is primarily a discipline on theory concepts. Whereas paper two is called as Indian administration, which is applied in our Indian systems. And if you take all this paper two syllabus, just go through paper two syllabus, just go through it, then I'll say some simple things of it, paper two. So in paper two, if you check all the syllabus, can you see it's overlapping with GS? So mostly you can see polity overlapping will be always there. I'll say unit numbers, check that unit numbers. Unit 2, just check what is unit 2 is. Philosophy and constitutional framework of government, salient features and value premises, constitutionalism, correct? All these are part of constitution, polity. Similarly, unit 4, union government and administration, that is parliament, judiciary, correct? All these are part of it. There are some other terms is also there, we'll see it. Similarly, unit 6, state government. And similarly, can you see that in unit 11, 12? Unit 11 and 12 is regarding Panchayat and municipalities, what we call as 73rd and 74th. Here it's given as technical, but if it's related with polity classes, that is Panchayat and municipalities. This is one overlapping with GS polity. Similarly, in GS topic, there's a term called economics. Can you see that overlapping with unit number 3, PSU? PSU, public sector undertaking. Similarly, we have this plans and priorities, unit number 5. Plans and priorities, unit number 5, correct? And similarly, if you go for 13th unit, law and order administration, we can relate with internal security. And significant issues, administrative reforms, all comes under the concept of governance, GS governance. Mostly we can see overlapping with GS topics a lot. Some standalone units are unit number 1, evolution of Indian administration. When I say evolution means they start from ancient India, medieval India and modern India. Ancient India example is Kautilya, medieval is Mughal, and modern is nothing but British administration and current India. Okay. And similarly, another unit which is very unique is you can see about unit number 7, district administration, which is regarding role of district collector and all those things. Okay. And when you take this 8th and 9th unit, that is civil service and financial management, this have a overlapping with paper 1. Civil service can be overlapped with 9th unit of personal administration. In paper 1, there's a unit called personal administration, which can be overlapped with civil services. Same term you can get it, recruitment, training, all these things are there. Similarly, financial management can be overlapped with 12th unit of paper 1. What are the differences? What you study as a theory here, how it is applied in Indian administration. Then you can ask a very basic question. What are the difference between GS and paper 2 of public administration? The difference is, if you give this paper 2 public administration question paper to anyone, they can easily understand the question. And if you ask them to write, they'll write the points. What a difference between paper 2 of public administration and GS paper is how you write an answer. You can write a GS answer, you can write a public administration answer. What is GS answer and public administration answer is? Public administration answer consists of the technical terms of paper 1. I said Panchayat and municipalities. Here what the term given is? Urban local government, rural local government. This is the term you want to use. That makes the difference. Can you get what I'm saying is? The same answer, only you want to change with the technical terms. If you are able to do that, that becomes a public administration paper 2 answer. And for public administration, first paper is very much important. In that first paper, first 3 units, if you have very good understanding, around 80 to 90% of syllabus is over. In senses, understanding of the concepts. Can you understand the point? Other areas, you just need to know the concepts. Basic concept clarity you want to have in this first 3 units. Once you have this concept clarity in first 3 units, other units are literally easy. And once you finish off paper 1, paper 2 is nothing but what you study with GS, you want to relate with the terms of public administration. Only area where you want to focus a lot for paper 2 is answer writing ability, not content. Content is the same with GS. Can you get the point? This is both paper 1 and paper 2. Just go through the syllabus. Any word you are not understanding, even one word, you just say, I'll explain to you. Just casually go through paper 1 and paper 2. Any word you can't understand, or any word which you feel that it's very curious, something new, you want to know, just ask me. I'll explain to you. Online candidates, all you just go through it. And for a subject of public administration, one very basic quality what you want to understand is you need to observe what is happening around you, especially in the lens of government. What is lens of government is, see what is happening around you and think a very basic, ask a very basic question, why government is doing like this? With that understanding, you can easily relate with the subjects. Why government is doing like this? Most of the time as a common man, we never know there's a government. When we feel there's a government. If you ask any common man, what is government, they doesn't know. But when a common man feel about government is when something is very bad. Road is bad. Ultimately, what a common man says, is a lower government, correct? Electricity for 3 days is a lower government. For remaining 363 days, current will be there. They never think of government. 3 days continuously, there is no current means they bounce on the government, right? So like that, we also will be there. So consciously, you want to think why this. Not for everything you want to think. Something it will be standing out. You uniquely know it. Then you think why government is doing it. Simple aspect. If you see in Annanagar areas, you can see this bicycles. 3 bicycles will be standing there near metro stations and all. Most of time you'll cross it, but you need to think why this idea came. Why putting bicycles here? But we'll never use it. That'll be standing there a lot, right? So we need to think why metro stations have this bicycle, not anywhere. So that curious mind is enough. So that's the requirement. Just go through it. Any doubts or clarification on a single term, you just ask me, I'll explain to you. So public administration as a subject or a discipline, until we are conscious, we doesn't know it. That is also the reason sometimes you feel that everything is different. Can you understand the point? Public administration, when you get an idea, as I already said that, when the system is failing, you get this public administration, what the term is. Whenever system is good, people never know what is public administration is. Because government is very silent. You doesn't know it. Whenever there's a failure of the government, you can clearly understand that what is administration, what are the things and all. Simple way of saying is, right now if you are in Tamil Nadu, correct? You doesn't think of government. But if you are in Manipur, you know what is the problem in Manipur? Check what issues in Manipur is. Manipur is a state in northeastern part of India, correct? What a problem in Manipur? So what a problem in Manipur is, you know, this law and order problem. Tribe conflict is there, correct? Ultimately, every day think of government. Another example of everyday thinking of government is Corona day. Remembers of Corona time? Whom we always see a lot is only government. Is that we thought about Adani, Ambani? No. Every day we check in we have news channels, correct? Today, what is the death count? And who comes and gives that number? Government. Health secretary comes and read the thing, correct? Today, this many people died in Tamil Nadu. These are the measures taken. During disaster time also, we only depend on government. Okay. Just go through it. Any doubts or clarification on a single term you ask me, I'll explain to you. From next week onwards, we have a proper sessions. Okay. So weekend classes. What is public choice approach means? Right now, government believes that for a citizens or common man, we want to give more choices. Simple way of understanding choices. Leave out administrative angle in a personal life. Having choices, is it good or bad? Basically, having choices, good or bad? Good. What is the advantage of having choices in our life? For any situations, having choices, what advantage? Just think of your perspective. Going and buying a dress. Is that you have a choices? Yes. Correct? What advantage in that? What you like, you can have it. What's a budget, you can have it. All these are things advantage. Can you understand the point? If you don't have a choices, there's a term called monopoly. Check what is monopoly is. Single player. If you have a single player, what are biggest disadvantages? They never ever think of the people. So government thinks that in providing any goods or services, we need to have more choices. More choices, biggest advantage is competition. If you have so many choices, so many players are there, competition will be there. Out of competition, you get the best outcomes. Any good example of this more competition, choices, best outcomes is? Take example of mobile phones. For the major service providers of mobile phones, Airtel, Jio, correct? And you have two choices. Competitions are between them. Are they giving the best outcomes or not? Call and say something to Jio. This is my problem. What the next thing Jio will say is, yes, I'll work it out. Assume there is no Jio, no Airtel, only BSNL. What will happen? You can go to the office and sit, they never care of you, correct? So what government thinks is, we need to give more choices to the people in every areas. So there'll be better competition, so there'll be better outcome. Okay. Just go through it. We see in the classes how monopoly creates its own problem. Good example, practically to understand monopoly and its problem is very practical example. Take railways. Is railways run by government or not? Example of monopoly, correct? What's our experience with train travel? Good or bad? Basically, train travel, good or bad? Basically. Leave out sleeping and all, everywhere we will sleep. Apart from this quality of travel, I'm asking, quality of travel, good or bad? Good? Huh? Safety wise, bad. That's good. Safety wise is not good, correct? Even if you go and think of railways, cleanliness, good or bad? Bad, correct? Women's safety, good or bad? Bad. Bad only. Women's safety, bad only. Mostly you are from South Tamil Nadu. You have an experience. Most of the time will be positive. When you go rest of India, and there are certain parts of India, all these are very biggest headaches. Assume that railways are privatized, run by Adani running railways. Or the first thing he always think of is all these problems, then only someone will buy the ticket. That is nothing but the providing choices. And for the first time in India, check the news article, Indian Railways and Privatization. This can be prelims question also. The history of Indian Railways, for the first time, they are privatizing it. Until now, Indian Railways is primarily driven based on government. Another 30 years down the line, 20 years down the line, we say Adani, Ambani, probably they can also run the railways. Is that you got that news article? I think Tejas Express. Huh? Put Tejas Express, railways and privatization. Is that you got it? So what is the term called network analysis, MIS, PERT, CPM? I'll explain it. Is that you got that news article, Tejas Express? For the first time, it is being privatized. As I say, another 20 years down the line, I already said, probably some private player like Adani, Ambani will run a train network. Where all this are taken into consideration. And what is MIS, PERT and CPM? Expansion is Management Information System, Program Evaluation and Review Technique, Critical Path Method, Network Analysis. All these things are primarily focused on workflow, and they want to make sure that efficient workflow happens so that you can minimize the times. MIS Management Information System is primarily related with decision making. And good way of understanding decision making is simple aspect. As a humans, can you say we are good decision maker or average decision maker or bad decision maker? What's your understanding? Is that we are good decision maker, average or bad? As a humans, you always need to say we are average. We are not good decision maker. Any situation you take, we always make average decision making. Even it applies of selecting your life partner. Understand the point? They say marriage is made in heaven. It's only a term, never in your life. Just to say in personal life, correct? You try to stick with the decision. Understand the point? It applies everywhere. Even if you are district collector, you can't make a best decision. You always make an average decision. To make this decision best, we have this MIS, Management Information System. Under this Management Information System, what they try to do is, they give all the informations to make the best decisions. One of the biggest challenge for human beings is, we cannot get all the informations to make the best choices. Simple way of saying is, take your UPSC itself. Anyone knows this term called cadre? Cadre is nothing but, you want to choose the state where you want to work. They give the choices to you. But the first state you always choose is home state, correct? Second state, neighboring state, correct? My question is, from administrative angle, professional angle, do you know Tamil Nadu well? Assume you are an IAS. You want to get into IAS Tamil Nadu. You know how Tamil Nadu IAS works? No. When you put in cadre of Tamil Nadu, put Kerala, you doesn't know. You doesn't have all the informations. MIS, what they try to do is, they give all the informations based on which you can make your choices. Simple way of saying what is all the information means. For example, Tamil Nadu IAS, Kerala IAS. Can I even say where promotion prospects will be very soon? Promotion prospects. That will be very soon. Any idea? No one knows. Until if you have a brother or sister, or father or mother in civil services, they can say you, correct? Tamil Nadu IAS means within 3 years you can get this posting. We don't have that information. We put Tamil Nadu because we belong to that state. So any human being decision making is always average. To make best decision in administration, we have this MIS, Management Information System. Okay. Depends on the information we have. That's correct. That's correct. So any other terms I want to explain apart from this? Okay, then next we have go for our keywords. There's another sheet is given, keywords. So what is this idea of this keywords is, I'll share that in Telegram also. So when you're going for UPSC mains examination, whenever you see a question, the most important thing is this keywords. So I have given some examples of that keywords. One is called comment. So what a term called comment is, a remark that expresses personal reactions or attitude. Simple way of saying what is comment is, whenever see a question with the term called comment, based on that question statement, you need to take a stand whether you accept it or deny it. I'll give an example of a question for it. India will be a superpower by 2050 comment. Comment means you want to take a stand. Question is, India will be a superpower by 2050. You need to say yes or no. Any one stand you want to take. When you say yes means, what are the points you want to write? Any one point is enough. What point you want to write? India will be a superpower by 2050. Economically will progress. Any other thing you want to say? Economy wise good, correct? Biggest democracy. Positive things. If you think that okay, India will not be a superpower, what point you want to write? Any one or two point you can say. Not every country has positive and every country has negative. What a negative aspect of India? 1 or 2 points you want to write. Negative aspect. Is that India doesn't have any negative aspect? We have negative, correct? For example, we can say India is known for corruption. And how to choose a stand on comment is based on number of points. India will be a superpower. You have 5 points. Yes, you write it. India will not be a superpower. You have 8 points. You write it. You understand the point? Based on number of points, you can take a stand. That's called comment. Can you get what I'm saying is? This we'll see in a class also. I'll say after this how we structure the classes so that you get an idea. In each day, what we'll do. Okay. Similarly, another term is, for example, there's a term called, so explain, to make understand the nature or meaning of something. So what this explain is, you want to write an answer in such a way that once someone reading that answer, they get all the informations of it. An example, 1857 can be considered as the first war of independence. Explain. Still, your modern India is going correct. You want to say in 1857, what are the things happened so that we call it as first war of independence. Why it is called as first war of independence 1857 is, it happened pan-India. That you want to say. Pan-India means where all happened. And it has a better coordination. Better coordination means people across India communicated each other and simultaneously went for protest. So these are the points you want to write. Explaining in such a way that once I read the answer and finish off, I'll give a clear understanding that yes, 1857 is considered to be the first war of independence. Okay. Similarly, next question we have, for example, discuss close examination of subject with interchange of opinions. What does interchange of opinions means? So you want to write all the perspectives of both positives and negatives. Take an example. Indian democracy is considered a mature democracy. What is mature democracy means? Level of democracy is very high. Can we say like that? Answer is 50% yes, 50% no. Is Indian democracy, what a positive thing is? Anyone knows this called adult suffrage? Or what we called as voting rights. What are voting rights in India? 18 plus, anyone can vote. That's a positive thing. And there are countries even without democracy. Example of country without democracy. Example of country without democracy. China is a good example. China is not a democracy. It's have only one party. Communism party. Positive is India, we have voting rights. But it doesn't mean that Indian democracy is always the best one. Good example, women representation in politics, good or bad? Right now we have made some changes. Check what percentage of MPs are women. What percentage of MPs are women? You can put Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, anything. Cuba is example, Cuba, okay. How much is it? 13.6 are women MPs. To get understanding of this number, check Indian population, what is women percentages? Indian population, women percentage. Very close to 50%. So logically, if you want to put some numbers for women representation, what should be the numbers? Out of 100 in India, 50 are women. But if you go to parliament, out of 100, how many are women? 13 are women. What should be the minimum number you want to have as? You doesn't want 100 to be women in politics. At least 40 should be there because population is 40 to 50. What it clearly indicates is that democracy, though we say it's people power, it is mainly dominated by males. This all points you want to write and discuss. Okay, don't get worried of all these things. I'll say the structures of classes, we can improve these aspects. Why I gave these terms is because in our school and college days, we have written answers. But what we try to do is, we never give importance for these answers, terms, correct? Simple question. So critically examine the role of Mahatma Gandhi in national movement. In UPSC, the keyword is critically examine. But in college or school days, what the keyword is? Mahatma Gandhi. With that, we write every answer. What a starting paragraph of that answer in school days is Mahatma Gandhi was born on, date of birth, correct? And parents' name, sister's name. Last paragraph, death of Mahatma Gandhi. Reason for death, date of death. In between, you write everything and you get the best mark. Here in UPSC, what the keyword is? Not only Mahatma Gandhi, critically examine. For that reason only I gave these terms. Point is, when you go for mains, write an answer based on college mindset or school mindset, you have a feeling that you have written the best mains, but mark will not be there. For UPSC, what are the keyword? These terms. Can you understand the point? Just go through the keyword. Any keyword you didn't understand, you will ask me. I'll explain one after the other also. We finished off until discuss. Huh? So what this term called elucidate? So elucidate is to make clear or especially by explanation. So explanation, you want to give some key ideas. Elucidate, you can take everything and also you can give examples. Very detailed explanation. That's called elucidate. Okay. Similarly, we have this term called argue, to put forth the reasons for and against. Simple way of saying this argue is pros and cons. Simple way is your parents always says that don't argue with me. When that situation comes is when that situation comes, when your parent will say that don't argue, when that situation comes is when they say a point, directly opposite point you say. They say another point, directly opposite point. And after a point of they think that what is this argument? Why you are arguing with me, correct? For example, they say dosa morning. You say no, biryani. Correct? So like this, what you want to write an answer is, I have said pros and cons. When you write a positive character, you also want to write the simultaneous negative character. Okay. Next one is examine, to look at, inspect, scrutinize, and investigate. What is examine is, you go to the doctor for any medical reason. What the first thing he always says is, first I'll examine you. What does examine you means? Identifying the cause, symptoms, and effect. You understand the point? Assume that I have some cold. He tried to find cause for it. What are symptoms of cold? Correct? What is effect? And finally, they say the solution. The same thing you want to write in the answer. Cause and effect, and what are the way of resolving it. That's called examine. Okay. Next one is evaluate. So what is evaluate is very basic point is to check the degree of success. That's called evaluate. So I'll give an example. Evaluate the contribution of Mahatma Gandhi to Indian freedom struggle. Evaluate the contribution as, I'll say certain ideas, you say your viewpoint. Is Mahatma Gandhi have a huge influence on our political history? Political history in the sense is, political wise, he has changed a lot in India. Participation of a lot of people in national movement, all these things, Congress, everything, he strengthened it or not? Answer is yes. Correct? Social influence of Mahatma Gandhi. What's your viewpoint? Is it good or bad? There, most of the time, even negative sense. Can you understand the point? Simple way of asking is Mahatma Gandhi played an important role in elimination of caste? Do you accept the statement? Yes, no. Literally no. He played an important role in politics, but he never focused on caste. This is the evaluation. Can you understand the point? They say that if Mahatma Gandhi thought of it, there may be a greater possibility that caste problems in India can be minimized a lot. But he never touched it. Can you understand the point? Even they say categorically Mahatma Gandhi accepted this idea of caste. This is called evaluation. What degree it's successful, what went wrong. Okay. Finally, critical aspect is critically examine, critically evaluate means when you get this term critically, 20 to 30% you want to write the positive things and 70% you want to write the challenges and issues. Simple way of saying is if you take this critically analyze or critically evaluate and all those things, marriage leads to a happy life. Critically evaluate means, can you say 2 or 3 points of positive things of marriages? Or 2 or 3 positive things of marriages? Your family, you see parents a lot, correct? Yeah, elder brother, sister getting married. What are positive things of marriages? What is your understanding? Positive things of marriages. First and foremost thing, supporting will be there, correct? So there will be 2 individuals supporting each other. Then any other advantage? So new families is one, correct? Another advantage is when you are 2 individuals getting married, one is they support each other. Every aspect, support, a financial, moral, or emotional support will be there. Then what are the things? 2 families get united. What are other advantages? What are other advantages when someone is getting married? Other advantage of getting married is where you can show your true personality. True personality is, most of us right now, when you come and interact with the society, we are not a true characters. We have a mask. Is it true or not? Yes, correct. Once you are inside in the family, and especially when you are spending time with the life partner, they know all your characters, whether good or bad. Next thing, as a human, you need to have that space also. In marriage, you happen all these things. But what are challenges in marriage? What are challenges? Basic challenges. It's not everything is positive. What are basic challenges of marriages? Basic challenges, financial commitments need to be there, correct? And very basic challenge, spending time. Right now, what the biggest criticism in modern marriages and all? Take your brothers or sister got married. What the first thing they always say is? First thing, பேசுறதே இல்லை, correct? Not spending time. கல்யாணம் தண்ணிக்கு பார்த்தது அதுக்கப்புறம் பார்க்கவே இல்லை, correct? Okay, what they are trying to saying is they are not spending quality time, correct? So like this, you want to list out what are the challenges in it. And most important thing, my very basic question is, can we criticize the government? Love and companionship, that's correct. So very basic question is, can we criticize the government in UPSC mains? What's your understanding? Yes or no? What's your understanding? Can you criticize the government in UPSC mains examination? Yes or no? The answer is yes. That should be a constructive criticism. What is constructive criticism? Is identify the problem and give the solutions. Very basic question. Corruption in India. Can you write yes or no? Yes. If you write yes, that's a criticism only, correct? Can we say in India there is no corruption? Literally, they never correct your paper, correct? What you want to do is identify the problem and give the solution. So constructive criticism, UPSC mains answer is required. Radical criticism is unacceptable. What is radical criticism is? Can you write an answer? Indian democracy is worst. We can go for communism or dictatorship. Outside, it seems to be best solution. Assume India is ruled by a dictator. It'll be good or bad. Positive things are there. Dictatorship, positive things are also there. But dictator is a good person, positive things happens. You can't write that's a solution for India. Remove democracy and create dictatorship. That's a radical criticism which you want to avoid. Okay. So these are the key terms. And I have given the list of the books what you want to buy. So in that list you have this Mohit Bhattacharya, correct? So what the first book is New Horizon of Public Administration, Mohit Bhattacharya, and Administrative Thinkers, Prasad and Prasad. These first 2 books are for paper 1. These are the technical books, paper 1. Indian Public Administration, Ramesh Karara and Ranjani Goyal, this is for paper 2. But my personal suggestion is, once you opted for public administration, along with the sources, my recommendation will be, just take out your phone. You can go to Amazon. Public administration, you put Aribam. Public administration, Aribam. Aribam. Just put Amazon public administration, automatically you get this Aribam. Is that you got this paper 1, paper 2? Public administration, paper 1 and paper 2. Radha Binod Aribam. Radha Bino. Is that you got the 2 books, Amazon? It's written by an IAS, correct? Is that you got it? Yes or no? Yes, correct? You go for Amazon, Public Administration, Radha Bino Aribam. Radha Bino. Just wait a minute. You get this book like this. Paper 1, paper 2. This is the cover of it. That is, it's a book written by an IAS officer. Or if you go for Amazon, get like this. Okay. It's a guide. And to understand what this guide is, you are studying polity, correct? What book you refer for polity is Lakshmikant. Actually, it's not a book, it's a guide. And this guide from page to page related to UPSC. And if you're preparing for public administration, you can start with this guide. If you are an individual thinking that I doesn't want to waste my time, each page what I'm studying should be related to examination, you can go for this guide. This first source. Second is there's a material called IGNO Public Administration MA. And that is given for individuals joining public administration as a graduation. In simple terms, one thing what you want to do is you want to relate with the syllabus and go through the topics. These are the 2 sources which I always recommend for your first preparation, either Aribam or IGNO. Both will be easy to study. Once you finish off that, then come for this technical book. For certain individuals, this technical book, first time reading, they have a hold. And these books are primarily written for university level people. When I'll suggest this, once you finish off this guide, Aribam or IGNO first time, then you go and read this book, it will be comparatively easy. So my suggestion is after June, you can go for these books. Until now, you can go for this Aribam as a guide and also institute material. Okay. Then other thing is Kurukshetra Yojana, we'll see in the class. That is other one. And how we are going to structure the classes, it's a weekend classes, 9 to 1. So we have classes in a way that every Saturday, Sunday, we have a class. Only if there's a cancellation of the class, that will be intimated in Telegram channel. Default, we have classes from 9 to 1. And how we plan it is, first Saturday, 9 to 9:45 or 10, that week of current affairs, we'll see that. Related to public administration. Then we have a paper 2. We have a break by 10:45 to 11. Then 10:45 or 11 for 15 minutes break. Then we have a paper 1. That be the class flow. And we are starting by November. Max by March, we'll finish off. Or April 2nd week, we'll finish off. I'm saying later. Probably we'll finish off early also. For extreme end, I'm saying that will be April 1st week or 2nd week, we'll finish off. And after 3 to 4 weeks of our classes or 5 weeks of, actually after one month of our classes, we have a test on the topics what we have done. That will be kept on Sunday. That too, we'll have 2 or 3 questions for 10 mark level, 15 mark level. You want to write the answers. We'll see the answers in the class. I'll correct the paper and give it in the next week. That will be after 3 to 4 weeks of classes. Every week we have a test on the topics what we finished off. Intention of that test is to make sure that to understand these keywords. Current affairs session is to link the public administration with current affairs, and you can see the questions are reflecting based on it. This is how a class flow will be. Every Saturday, Sunday, 9 to 1, and Saturday first 40 minutes will be current affairs of that week. After 4th week, every Sunday we have a test for 40 minutes. 30 minutes you write the test, 15 minutes we'll see the answer for the questions. Okay. Any clarifications or doubts? For online students, test, I'll share the question paper in the board. You can write the test and send it to my mail ID. I'll share my mail ID. I'll correct the papers and give a phone feedback. I'll call you in the phone. I'll give you the feedback to you. Okay, for current affairs, for online candidates. Okay. Any other thing apart from this? Any clarifications or doubts you have? Just go through what are the things we have given. Any clarifications, doubts you have? And classes starts by next week. So next week means next Saturday. I'll say the date. So next Saturday date is so 8th and 9th we have the classes. Every Saturday, Sunday we have a class, and again I'll say if there is no class only, they intimate in Telegram. Default is we have classes. You come for classes every Saturday, Sunday. Okay. And if there is any chance of emergencies, probably 2 hours before we'll intimate you. That will never happen. If there is any emergency, probably 2 hours before we'll put in the informations. Anyone coming from far off places, I just want to say. Okay. So any other clarifications or doubts? Anything you want to ask? Or anything you want to ask, anything related to it? So for right now, what's my suggestion is, we have another 1 week. Don't try to pressurize you anything on this. Class starts, and initial classes will be basic understanding of topic. Then you go for the Zariba. Right now, if you want to get a pulse of this, in 12th NCRT, there's a topic called business studies. To my suggestion, I'll suggest for this people in the previous batch of June, July, because they start the preparation, they have time for it. Right now, another 4 to 5 months is there for your prelims. So you doesn't want to put that effort. Personal suggestion. If you have time and space for studying, you do it. Because another 1 week down the line, we have the classes. You can start the class itself. Before that, if you want to have an idea, study polity from prelims angle and also from mains angle. So that can be easily related with the paper too. Okay. Understanding of the topic, basically, if you want to ask, business studies is one. NCRT. 12th standard NCRT. But you need to have time for it. Personal suggestion is don't waste the time of this week for that. Prepare for your prelims. Okay. Any doubts or clarifications? Anything you want to ask? Online candidates, anything you want to ask? So my background, I studied engineering. Everyone in Tamil Nadu studied engineering. So in that time frame, and I have written 4 mains. Probably last time I wrote was 2014 or something. After that, 14 or 17. After that, I didn't continue with my preparations. Professional teaching only. So any other thing you want to ask? And mostly what we try to convey in the classes, based on our experience of preparation, what are the errors we have done? That will be shared in the classes, not only based on topic. I'll share some personal aspects also. Reason is, you should not waste the time on it. One of the advantage of joining an institution is you can minimize all your trial and error. What is trial and error means? UPSC is the examination. You can't do anything. Everything is correct. Can you understand the point? I want to study polity from Ambedkar book, because constitution was written by Ambedkar. I want to study polity from there. Yes. But can we do for examination? No. So mostly we'll share that experience. What are the things you should not do? For cracking civil service examination, what are the first thing you want to know is what you should not do. Can you understand the point? Because there are multiple ways. We tried few ways in it, and we know what is the problem in it. We'll say that don't do it. You try to do it, it's wasting your time. That's the point. So that's the advantage of joining institution. You can avoid all this trial and error. What are cost of trial and error is? I'm doing something, what are cost of trial and error is? Cost is one attempt. You understand the point? A good example of what is trial and error means how we prepare for our university examinations. You want to prepare for university examinations, what do you do? Right now you are writing your semester examination. Next week is semester. What this week you do? Preparation starts with this week. Remaining previous 2 or 3 months you didn't study. Correct? This week you start. Even in this week, how you start? Take last 4 years question paper, go through the topic, prepare the answer, and what the belief of it is, question will be repeating. If you do the same thing in UPSC, even if they give the question paper and book to write the examination, you can't clear it. Can you understand the point? UPSC examination is like a marathon, not 100 meters. Marathon means every day consistently you want to study. For example, every day 5 to 6 hours I'm studying. Doing that for 1.5 years, 2 years, cracking examination is very, very high. I am an individual. Weekly, one day I study for 20 hours. Can I crack it? I can promise you, no, will not possible. Similarly, checking last 20 years of question paper of UPSC for prelims. Can I crack it? Literally no. UPSC never ever set a pattern. What is pattern is? Last year UPSC prelims, 10 question on history, 10 question on economics, 25 question on polity. In college days, what do you do? Next year, 25 question on polity, 10 question on economics, 10 question on history. You study for it. But what UPSC will do is, next year, 2 question on polity. These are all trial and errors. So that you should not do there. Okay. So any other clarifications or doubts? So can we wind off? So next 8th, we'll meet November 8th, 9 o'clock. We start our sessions. Start with the current affairs, paper 2, paper 1, and thereafter we have classes on every week. Okay, thank you. Thanks. So online candidates, any clarifications or doubts? Can we finish off? So how many of you joined here for this for bad options? 1. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So thank you. Yeah.